everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, an anime news show, a JRPG news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I get to talk about everything and anything that catches our interest or ire. We stream live every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. We'll be previewing some trailers, talking about some industry news, responding to super chats at the end of the show. And guys, it is good to see you. Holy cow, did I do that? Did I just nail that intro? I think I did.
I think so. Wow. It's starting. You know what? I support you, man. I support you. If you want to, act the fool, every now and then.
Well, hey, speaking of acting the fool, guys, we have quite a few comments from last week to kind of go over and talk about. We actually pulled several from the new HitPoint YouTube channel. Speaking of which, if you're not already subscribed over there, please do. It makes a big difference, especially in the early days. We are in the process of trying to transition these live streams over to the new HitPoint YouTube channel, and it would probably be a good idea if I could point you guys to where we are. We are actually broadcasting live on both channels at the moment, but right there in the chat is a link to the other one. So I don't know, you could watch us in stereo if you open one in each window. I don't know. maybe you don't.
I'm watching
do that.
Both right now.
But we are trying to grow over there. So and eventually HitPoint, again, just as a reminder, will be transitioning to being over there entirely. So
that's right.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start talking about some of the comments that we got from last week. What do you think?
Actually, I guess one more thing that we haven't brought up yet, which is you will notice that all the old episodes of HitPoint are gone from Derek's channel. Derek has deleted all of them.
Well,
and uploaded them over to the new website.
Is a strong word.
Strong word.
I have hidden them from the Super Derek YouTube channel. Yes, all of the back catalog for all of your historical reference is currently available. God, it took a couple of weeks to do this too. Currently available. All of the old VODs are up on the on the new HitPoint YouTube channel. By the way, that's at HP Pod on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I was like, this might be important for you to know this. In case you're looking for old VODs, they are actually at the new site. You don't see them in Derek's site. You're like, I can't find an episode from 2 weeks ago. They're at the new site.
Also,
go to the new site. Use the new site.
I mean, we do. I mean, can I also just shout out our audio listeners? Apparently,
oh my God, yes.
Like Baku wasn't even aware for a while that we actually have a pretty substantial following on iTunes. Well, Apple Podcasts, really. It's not iTunes anymore, but Apple Store, Spotify. I think Google Podcasts used to be a thing, but now it's YouTube Podcasts, or is it just YouTube Music? I don't know.
YouTube Music is YouTube Music.
It's complicated. But anyways,
complicated.
Yeah. We are big, and I don't know how you guys put up with us for so long in audio only, but I appreciate it. We appreciate our audio listeners very much.
They're more audio listener than watching our live show.
Well, that's because we actually have also split our audience a couple of times already. So there's part of that. That's the other reason we're trying to complete this transition.
They just want us to be headless, faceless voices.
That works though, because I've been told that I have a beautiful face for radio. So moving along.
Just Derek. Just Derek. I've heard both our voices, and I know it is actually just Derek, and that's true.
So kicking things off, we got some comments from last week. So let's talk about this one from Ian Boyd, who messaged that they were commenting for the comments' sake. Let's get this channel making, and I can't see the emojis, but I think it's
a dollar.
Signs.
Yeah, it's a dollar emoji.
Nice. Okay.
Yes,
Google Docs failed me there with those emojis.
Google dollars. Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much for the support, Ian. And I've actually picked comments from not just last week. I should say this. I should preface this too. I've gotten used to looking at comments from only Derek's channel,
Oh
right?
yeah. Hmm.
The problem, and this is going to go out to all of you who may be watching this later on too, because Derek will hide the episodes sometime, after some time on his own channel. I can't find your comments anymore after a while.
After the first
So
week. Yeah.
yeah, I would encourage, if you want to put comments, put in the news site, because that's where we're gonna keep all the old episodes. We're not hiding them, and all your comments will be there on full display for the world to see. So
For
I
better
would
or
encourage
worse.
it. Yeah, but for the longest time, I've gotten in the habit of reading comments only from Derek's channel, right? Like it's been like a habit for like 2 years, and I didn't realize that a lot of you were already commenting on the new site,
That's right.
on the new channel, I should say.
Yeah.
So I'm now adding a couple of comments from each of those videos, and from this point moving forward, I'm only gonna pick comments from the new channel, just because those are the VODs that will stay and never hidden, if that makes sense. Yes.
Oh,
So I would
that's kind of a good
definitely
idea.
encourage you all to go there.
That
So
does make
yes.
sense in retrospect. Cool.
Yeah. So Ian, thank you so much for the support. They posted lots of comments on all the different videos. I really appreciate the support in this endeavor. Yeah. So next up, this is a comment from some time ago from Felix the Cat, who said Anime NYC was great, but it seems like more people come every year. It's getting insane. Luckily, people are pretty respectful and everyone is cosplaying and in a good mood. Also, why are you, as in me, Ubering in New York? Use the trains. Thank you, Felix. Yes, and I did respond, albeit like a month late. So, Felix, if you're listening right now, I didn't ignore you. It's just I didn't even know you commented in the new channel, but I have responded since. And I'll also tell you the response to why was I Ubering in New York instead of using trains was because I didn't have time. I was traveling from the convention, which is like in part of like Manhattan, and then I have to go into Brooklyn for the concert. And given the traffic and the time, it would have taken about 2 hours, which 2 hours I don't have, especially when I'm on vacation. Now, luckily, and of course, Ubering was expensive, it was like $80, okay? But because I was splitting that with four people, it's not that bad once you split it with like between 5 people. So it came out to be like, like
That does help.
$16, yeah, one way.
It does help.
So yeah. Now, again, would I do this if I lived in New York? Absolutely not. But I was on vacation. Like, my time is money. Like, I need to enjoy myself and spend most of my time not worrying about being stuck in like a train to Brooklyn or some other, mishaps. So I'm like, I'm just gonna call an Uber. We'll get there, and then we'll take us straight to the place. We'll not get lost. Yeah. So that was the reason why. So no, absolutely encourage the train use, but also due to the circumstances, we had to Uber. So yes.
All right.
Yes.
So, from one Racer Xer says, Forge of the Fae looks incredible. At the top of my wish list now. I thought the music in the trailer for Starlight Revolver sounded like Sarah Bonito of Caro Bonito, so I looked it up, and I was right. Like a pirate. So, yeah, that Forge of the Fae, guys, I'm still reeling from that interview, and I cannot wait to do we actually have another interview lined up for next weekend. It's gonna be
That's right.
it's gonna be a lot of fun. But Forge of the Fae, I actually had an opportunity to like just sit down and rewatch and even highlight some of my favorite parts from that episode recently. That's another thing that you'll might notice if you're over on the new HP Pod channel, is that there are going to be little highlights and shorts cut from past episodes now that are going to be slowly coming out. And some of those things that I did last week, you might have seen a couple of shorts just like coming out as little feelers, little testers to see how they do. Um,
Hmm. That's
so
right.
yeah, if you miss out on an episode, hopefully you'll see some shorts or cuts from those coming in. That'll be a little shorter segments, a little more digestible for one sitting watches, and yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy those too.
And doing a lot of different things to try to get us to be monetizable over at the new channel. We're so close, guys. We're so close.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I've got I have a really strong feeling that the podcast, now that it's on its own YouTube channel, is going to be it's going to be really successful, or much more successful than it has been over the last year, or has it been 2 years? I don't know. It feels like
yeah.
it's been 1 year, but it's probably been closer to two.
Oh yeah, no,
But
it's definitely been 2 years. It's been over 2 years, sir.
time flies. Oh yeah, we've done
Time
two
flies.
Tokyo Game Show episodes. No, have we done three? I don't. I, I think we might have done three Tokyo Game Show episodes. Holy cow.
No,
Time is
no,
flying.
no, because Tokyo Game Show was canceled for a while. Remember COVID?
That is true.
So
That is true.
yeah, so which also tells you that we've been doing this for a while.
So anyways, now that it's on its own channel, I was digging into some of our analytics as well the other week, and it's kind of crazy how well it's actually starting to find its own audience over there. Um, we've gotten some. There was one episode that got the same number of views on its channel as it does on the Super Derek channel, which is kind of rare.
Hmm.
Uh, and it has more watch time by like a factor of three because it's finding new
Wow.
viewers who are looking for podcasts. And
Oh, okay.
and
That makes sense.
that's got me really excited because I feel like it's really going to do really well.
That's
Anyways,
the thing about YouTube that drives me crazy. They have all these different formats and
I
stuff,
know
but their algorithm treats everything more or less the same. But they all have different,
it does.
viewer base and different behavior, and they treat
Yeah.
everyone just like, yeah, this is just the flat line that we're gonna treat all media the same. They can't be the same,
Yeah, like
you know?
it is strange. YouTube does treat every. It seems like, from what I've understood of the
Mhm.
process, it treats every YouTube channel kind of like a bucket, and it assumes that the audience for everything that you produce for that is it's intended to be the same audience.
Yes.
Even though I'm making different kinds of videos targeting different kinds of people. So like I've got the long form for people who want that. I've got shorter videos for people who want that, reviews for people who want that. And it's kind of like I'm trying to make the one-stop shop for all RPG stuff, but then YouTube's like, "Oh, well, looks like because, your usual 20,000 viewers don't want to sit around for a 2-hour podcast. Well, it sounds like maybe the maybe the channel is on a downward trend or something." It's like,
Yes.
YouTube, come on, just use multiple buckets. Can't you see? Use playlists instead. Whatever.
Yes.
That's inside baseball. Um,
Yeah. All the more reason why we're trying to really split. You guys are wondering why, like the inner, like, I don't know, the thought process behind, like, why are you trying to split into a different channel? Like, you have a perfectly good channel over at Derek's. That's the reason why. That kinds of the two kinds of media or content is just, as far as driving results, they're kind of fighting each other, and
yeah,
it's frustrating, right? So yeah, so if we can all try, over time migrate over to the new channel, it's gonna help Derek out because he won't have to have this headache anymore. I feel bad. We've been doing this for 2 years, and it's like, if
well,
if they were hindrance, we've been hindering Derek's channel for 2 years, and that made me feel really bad. So I'm just like, no, we have to split like now and get over there ASAP.
yeah. The sooner probably the better, but that's on us. So
Yeah. So we're gonna try to make that transition as smooth as we possibly can, so it's not like just disruptive and be like, boom, next day we're gone. But certainly we'll hope that you all will be able to help us out here. Okay, moving on, moving on. We've got another comment, a lot of comments this time because I'm kind of like making up for lost time for all the comments that I didn't get to read from the new channel that we're reading now. The Ninja Mouse says, I think cross media releases can be great if you, as the audience, are invested in the onset. That's a big gamble that requires an awful lot of faith in the fictional world that's being created. But when it works, it's nice to not have to wait years between projects to dive deeper into that fictional world and its lore. That being said, I'm not sure I'm interested in what this Unknown Nine is doing either. Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
about the Bandai Namco multimedia project thing that they were trying to sell,
Mm-hmm.
and we're all just kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I'm into this. I'm like, it's okay, like I guess. And apparently, the lady who was featured in the series, whom did the mocap for the main character, whose likeness is based off of the main character's likeness is based off of is the person who played like one of the main characters in The Witcher. I forgot which one again. It's not
Um,
Tress, it's the other lady. I
you're
forgot the
thinking
name.
of Yennefer.
Yennefer, yeah. So she played Yennefer. So I'm like, I recognize her face. It's like, yeah, I feel like I recognize her from somewhere, but I couldn't like put my finger on it because I've only watched like a handful of episodes of The Witcher, and I don't really know The Witcher lore like that well. Someone pointed out in the comments, I was, oh yeah, it is her. Yeah, but I don't think she's enough draw to be like, oh yeah, you're gonna want this cross media whatever with the video games and the comics and movies and books and anime, and it's like, yeah, I don't know about this. But to that point, to Ninja Mel's point, hey, if you are invested, it could be nice, but I don't know if this is it. I don't know if this is it.
Hmm.
Yes.
Interesting. I so I think I'm not sure if something was up with the.
Hmm?
Oh, I'm looking at the YouTube channel, like the Super Derek YouTube channel, and for
Hmm.
some reason, like it was saying that we weren't live. I'm not sure what's up with that.
Oh, yeah, it says it's waiting.
Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. But I think I fixed it now. So hopefully,
Oh, so now is live.
yeah. So now it just went live in the middle of the show. That's
Good
awesome.
job, Derek. Good job. The most you nailed the opening
I
for what
know.
it's worth.
I
Yeah.
guess I guess for everybody
Just
who's just joining us now, you'll have to go over to the new YouTube channel where we've been live this whole time to see
oh
what happened
geez.
in the salacious moments prior.
Oh no. Well, all the more incentive to visit the new channel of which we have provided. Well, I'm glad you put the link in. Can we pin that? Can
Uh,
we is there no
yeah,
pin?
I
Yeah, we
can
can pin
actually
the
pin. There we go.
yeah.
I've pinned it. Sorry about
All
that, folks.
right.
Okay, so
Okay.
the most professional podcast on all of YouTube, right here,
Yes.
everybody. So, all right. I think that was the comment from the Ninja Mouse we just finished responding to,
Yes.
right? All right, so
Hmm.
I'll move on here to this one from Freddy Ken, who says Atelier Resleriana, the gacha game, is technically a main game. The name Resleriana comes from the two protagonists, Resna and Valeria. I am currently reading one chapter of the story a day, and reading one chapter of the story a day, and so far the character and story are quite and are quite and the world is interesting. Okay, I'm not
Yes.
sure. Yep.
I think that's what they meant. It's like the character story in the world are quite interesting.
Oh yeah. Okay. Which makes it much more sad to me that this is a mobile game, and I wish it was a standard single player console game because I
Well,
like
you're
the
in luck.
characters and the world. Yeah. So the reason we were talking about Resleriana in the first place was because of this single player adventure. So sounds like this is really shaping up to work out for them. They say that
Yeah.
the gameplay I don't really play because I think the mobile gacha systems destroy it for the most part for me. I agree with that, and I only read the story. I will definitely look out for Atelier Resleriana and the Alchemist and the White Guardian, the console game in parentheses. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much for that, Freddie. And
Thank you.
honestly, for the for the for the timestamps every single week too, I much appreciate it. Saving my bacon week after week. And
Oh,
yeah,
geez,
Resleriana,
yes.
as far as the Atelier games go, like we haven't really seen a whole lot of this in action yet. We've just got that kind of short teaser trailer that had I don't even think it showed off much gameplay at all, did it? Or was it just a teaser at this point?
Hmm.
So yeah.
Well, you know what? I think I think this is the thing that I think is important, right? When people are more excited to hear that you are releasing a standalone game than they were when you announced that this game will be a mobile game, that should be a cue to what the people want. I don't know. That
It is
pretty straightforward, you know. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. Koei Tecmo. It seems like people are a lot more excited with this than with just a trailer with no gameplay. They were already excited. So I don't
To
know.
be
Maybe
fair,
I just live in a bubble. I don't
to
know.
be fair, people would probably be a little more excited for Resleriana, the gotcha game, without any gameplay.
I didn't even know that it came out. As soon as I saw Atelier Gacha, and I
Yeah,
immediately closed down all the windows associated and never looked at it again. You
I know.
know?
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. Now they're getting headlines and they're getting discussion on podcasts like this one because of the tie-in. Well, tie-in, the
Mm,
adjacent game in the
yeah.
universe. So now people are like, "Oh, I didn't even know that this game existed, and
Hmm.
now I know that
Yeah.
there's a gotcha of it, and I still don't care."
That's exactly it.
I mean, that's the hope anyway. I know that some people do play gotcha, and that's fine if you do, but it's just not for me. You know, I don't.
Yes.
But I'm also the kind of person who never played Pokemon cards. You know, I never collected baseball cards. Really, like the whole like mystery pack stuff
Not
for
a
me. Just,
gambler, are you?
I mean, you'd be surprised if you like watch me play any RPG with like a casino on Twitch. Because I will, diverge from the main plot for like 30 hours if it means that I can get some special like end game loot 10
Hmm.
hours early. I will put 30 hours into the casino for that to happen.
Yeah, but you see in game casinos, it doesn't favor the house.
No,
See,
no,
that's the
no.
difference.
Well, it depends on the game. Depends on the game.
Really?
Yakuza, yeah, yeah. The Like a Dragon. Let me tell you, those odds felt
Stacked
pretty
against
stacked
you.
in the yeah, yeah. They felt realistic.
I see. Yeah,
It's like,
most of the gambling games that well, most of the casinos like DQ or
oh
something,
yeah,
like the odds are definitely with you. Like
uh huh.
you're going to win big
Oh yeah.
from
With
this.
Pokemon, even like you put on some sort of like auto clicker on the
Yeah.
controller and just like walk away for 2 hours, come back and you're a millionaire. You know,
Hmm. That's
gotta
right.
gotta love it.
Yep.
So all
All
right. So
right.
before we move on
Mm-hmm.
from the comments from last week, I should also mention that, guys, we do have a voicemail number that you can call and leave us a voicemail, and we'll listen to it live on the air. You can reach us at 785-337-3805, or you could email us a file with your recording to hitpoint at superderekRPGs.com. All right.
All
So
right.
now I think we're okay to go ahead and move along now to some updates to some previous releases, starting
All
with
right.
a free update to Sea of Stars, the
Yes.
dawn of Equinox. We've talked
Yes.
about it a few times up to this point, like talking about what it was going to entail and when it was going to come out, and well, now it's out. It's finally out. This is the multiplayer
Wait, no,
introduction.
no, 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 no.
No?
This is not out yet. No, no, no.
Oh,
In
it's not out.
November. In
Oh, it
November.
will be out. It will
Yeah,
be
it will
out.
be out in November. Yes.
Okay, my bad. So this is the one with it's got a revamped prologue 3 new difficulty options: local co-op entirely, by up to, or playable by up to 3 playable characters,
Hmm.
complete with a new cooperative timed hit mechanic, some bonus cinematic scenes, and from what I've been seeing, like, this is a lot of stuff a lot of people have been wanting and asking for
Yeah.
from Sabotage Studio. So this is extremely satisfying to see, just on the horizon. And apparently, it's got a speedrunner mode relic,
Hmm.
some new combat mechanics, and more quality of life improvements. Like, I think that if you've played it before, you can eventually get this parrot that tells you where to find certain items that you've missed, like seashells or something, I think, if I recall correctly. Now it's going to be even more useful, from what I've heard. So I'm excited about it. Sea of Stars, I loved it already, and I think that people are going to be very happy with what's coming out.
Absolutely. So I think the confusion with all this probably came from the fact that when they had first announced the DLC, which is the Throes of Watchmaker, I think
Hmm.
some of these were supposed to be bundled into that DLC.
Yeah.
But I think
Well,
what
it was always going to be
happened,
free though, but
yeah, well, I think what happened was that because they're able to, complete these, they want to get it out earlier.
mhm.
They have this new update called the Dawn of Equinox. So they want to get these things out rather than
Yeah,
bundling it with like the Throws of the Watchmaker.
I think that makes
So
sense.
yeah, it makes perfect sense. I mean, it's a very pro consumer thing to do. It's like, yeah, we've got all these cool things, like, and we're done with it. So let's just release it sooner rather than waiting for all these other things to come out. I think it makes perfect sense, and it's free. So I mean, come on, it's free, guys. It's just please,
All
we're not
right.
charging you for any of this. So good guys over at Sea of Stars, much appreciated. And as I mentioned, it's actually November. It's my fault. I didn't put a date. I forgot to like, put a date to it. Yeah, it's actually
How
coming out
dare you,
November
Baku?
12th. Oops. I was like, wait a minute. Wait, what?
Just
No,
gotta
there,
start the
no,
whole
no,
show over
no.
now.
I was gonna say stick to the script, but then I realized that I made a mistake on the script, so that's me. That's my fault.
No, no, no. You're good. You're
Thank you
good.
so much for playing along, Derek. So yes, November 12th, this thing coming out. So
All
you
right.
you ready for some upcoming releases?
Yes.
All right. So for those who are new to the show, welcome to the show. By the way, upcoming releases are things that are coming out within like a week of time. So anytime between now and basically next Sunday. These are all games that are coming out. We'll tell you a little bit about it, refresh your memories, watch a little trailer, and
Get
give you all the
excited.
deets. Yes.
Yeah.
So we've got a hand-drawn platform adventure game from Makoto Artworks called Last Time I Saw You. And that game is actually coming out very soon, of course, being in this section. The game follows Ayumi, a young boy who lives in rural Japan in the 80s, as he unravels the curse that's been brought upon his town and the mysterious girl associated with it. So let's take a look at the trailer so that you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Already I have a very good feeling about this. You give me a setting set in like the 80s, you give me a
Well,
setting in Japan.
this is the 80s Japan.
I
And this is the mysterious girl that you run into.
plus the hand drawn, like, that's
Oh
cool.
yeah, hand drawn aesthetics. Looks great. Yeah, I'm definitely getting this. Definitely without a doubt. I
Oh,
love these like like old timey lores.
kind of reminds me a little bit of, oh, cool.
This is a little
Little Bitling
ninja
game.
mini game.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Space for the Unbound,
Hmm.
but not pixel arty. But
Yeah, this one has
so,
more action gameplay. I think
it looks like it,
more
yeah.
platforming. Yeah. The First Love and the Terrible Curse. I didn't even know that that's the subtitle.
Well, you learned
Yeah, a
something.
First Love and a Terrible Curse.
Hmm.
So there you go. I'm actually very excited for this. Like, it looks very unassuming, but I think it's gonna have a great story. At least it looks very promising.
These kind of games
This
always sucker punch you in the
I
feels.
know, I
So
know. It's like, oh, prepare to cry. You're going to cry. You're going to cry. Anyways, this game is coming out on October 10th. Releasing on PS5, Xbox Series, the Switch, and PC via Steam. So all kinds of platforms. Really, no reason not to play this thing.
all right, moving along, guys. I made a video a while back talking about Sky Ocean's Wings for Hire, and it's crazy, but it's finally coming out this week. A lot of you might remember, I think around the time this game was announced, that a lot of people were like making comparisons to Skies of Arcadia, and it's really not anything like Skies of Arcadia, but it is really neat. It is this like dogfight turn-based RPG, like where all
Ooh.
the fights take place up in airplanes and stuff, and they're I guess there are Sky Islands, and that is how some people might. It's kind of thematically linked to
Maybe
Skies of
like the
Arcadia,
setting.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it looks more like Wind Waker or Mega Man Legends. Honestly, I
Mega
think
Man Legend.
yeah, it kind of looks a little bit more like that. So, anyways, it's from the developer Octeto Studios, and it's a new turn-based RPG called Sky Ocean's Wings for Hire, and it's releasing on the 10th here in just a few days. And in it, you'll be following the main character Glenn as he sets out to become the captain of his own crew of sky pirates. So let's
It's
check out.
I like the new trailer. You need to watch the new trailer.
Yeah, I can't. I haven't seen the new trailer yet. I think that the last thing that they added since I played part of it was
Mhm.
voice acting, and I'm excited to see that.
Oh, there's definitely voice acting in this one.
Yeah. So yeah, this is what the actual turn-based combat looks like.
You know what? I'm actually super excited that they have decided to do like dogfight as like the turn-based mechanics
Yeah.
rather than like people, because not that I dislike having real people doing the turn-based battle, of course, but you know, that's like every game. This is different. This is unique. Like,
It is.
you know, like,
It's wildly different.
yeah, the dogfight is the character. That's the turn-based.
Yeah. Now I know that some people in my review, well, talking about it, they were really thinking like if there's no like out of plane turn-based fighting, that'd be kind of a deal breaker for them. I still don't know if there's anything outside of it, but I don't think they've ever hinted at that there would
Yeah,
be.
I haven't seen anything outside the ship, to be honest. It's like Xenogear in a way, where you know how Xenogear, um, you know, that they're like robot battles, or even like, I don't know, like Trails of Cold Steel. They're like mech battles. It's like, imagine just all mech battles, like no real people battle. Like they don't fight in person; they fight with their ships. So like, here we are. That's kind of how I looked at it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't see any of all the material that I've seen. I have not seen any like actual person fighting.
All right.
Derek?
So,
Oh,
yep. Sorry, I'm just noticing that the next trailer that we're gonna watch won't
oh
load on Watch
yeah.
Together because it's rated M.
Well, I will
But
try to cover this fast then.
that's fine.
Yeah. Well, more of a reminder for everyone now. This game that needs no introduction, the remake of Silent Hill 2 from Konami, which is crazy for me to say that there's a new game coming out from Konami. It's
Right?
like, what? New game from Konami? That we would talk about on this channel anyways. It's actually been released in 2 days. We can't see the trailer, but that's okay. But basically, Silent Hill 2 is coming out in 2 days, just in time for Spiptober. Not for me, but for anyone who might be considering playing some kind of horror game for October. I mean, maybe consider Silent Hill 2.
This is the
It
prime
already
season
has.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it already has overwhelmingly positive review, because if you buy it on Steam, I don't know about other platforms, but if you get on Steam, you get the deluxe edition, you get to play it early. So there's a
Oh,
lot of people
cool.
who are already playing it.
Mhm.
And it's just like overwhelmingly positive. So now that could be like a selection bias because think about it, anyone who would pay that deluxe probably is already a fan of Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
But you can also look at it the other way, which is anyone who would pay that amount of money is a fan of Silent Hill 2, maybe even extra critical of a remake. If you've seen old fans talk about remakes, oh, they're critical. All right. So one reason or another, it is sitting at overwhelmingly positive right now. So that's a good sign. We will have to see. How the general public feel about it once October 8th comes along, which is in just 2 days, as it is being released on PS5 and PC. I mean, I am hoping that Konami makes the right move and actually bounce back because I think the projects that they have released so far for Silent Hill, like reboot, let's just call it Silent Hill reboot, right?
Sure.
There are multiple things in the project. There's like Ascension, there's like Project F, Silent Hill F. There's like this movie that is being made. They had all these things when they made that announcement, and so far nothing had looked good. Like nothing had gotten positive review,
Yeah.
except for this. So
Well,
and some of the other stuff just like we don't even know at what stage of like completion they're in.
sometimes it's just hard to translate a game into a movie. I mean, you could ask Uwe Boll about that, I guess.
I mean, it's not even just a movie. I mean, the movie is like still being directed, but there's like Ascension. Ascension is like this weird social storytelling thing that they were trying to do. I still don't understand what
Mm,
Ascension is, and I've
okay.
heard nothing since its
It's weird.
launch.
I've
It's just
heard I've heard of a lot of those kinds of projects where people are like trying to do these like interactive solve a
Mhm.
mystery as they release YouTube videos or something. Is that what you're kind of talking about?
I
Or
have no idea.
I've I've
To be
I've
very honest with you, I have
I've
no
seen a
idea
lot
what
of
they were
people do
trying to
weird
do.
stuff like that, and I'm never surprised when they don't go super viral because it's
Yeah,
like,
it was
why
just like
would anybody
extremely
want?
vague and
Yeah,
like oh, all of you who are interacting with this get to decide and dictate the fate of yada yada. And I'm like,
I'd just rather
I'm
play a
good.
video game.
I'm good. Just let me play the game. Like, I don't know why you're doing all this crazy stuff. Like, look, you know what? Here's the thing. If they made the game and it's a hit and people are bought into this reboot, then they say, hey, we're doing this side thing where you kind of like interactively write the story with us. I
Yeah,
think that would be like a way better hook than doing this Ascension thing out of nowhere and like
yeah,
that's the first thing that you release like after all these years not doing Silent Hills and you expect people to be like super excited and like involved in interacting. No, come
I
on,
feel that.
man.
Yeah,
Like I don't know,
I
but
think that's a
Silent
really
Hills
good point.
2 looks like it's doing great, so we'll see what happens. I'm actually very excited because I've never played Silent Hill before. It's just one of those, again, one of those games from back in the days when I had to pick and choose, and I picked Resident Evil over Silent Hill, and that's all I got because I don't have a lot of money. You can only get to pick one.
Hmm.
So I never play Silent Hill,
Silent
but I
Hill
want to. Yeah,
weirdly strikes me as more of the kind of game that I would probably actually enjoy because it's a bit
really.
more psychological, a little less
Then like
just
zombie and ghost.
yeah, a little less zombies run. It's a little more little more like cerebral. I think. Um,
That's fair.
yeah.
Yeah.
So did you already give the release date here for
So
this
are
one?
you gonna play Silent Hill 2? Well, but hold on, before we move on. So is that a confirmation that Derek might play Silent Hill 2?
I mean, on a long enough timeline, probably. Like if I live to be like 200 years old, and they stop making video games now, I might have enough time to play every RPG on my bucket list. And then who knows, maybe I'll start a horror game bucket list. But as for right now, um it's a little early to be making plans for that.
Okay, I want to share something with everyone, and that is like we're sitting at about like 370 some follow in the new channel. And I forgot who it was who made a comment in one of the videos. But we were saying, look, if we can hit 500 follows in October on the new channel, which is not, it shouldn't be like impossible. It should be doable.
Yeah.
Um, Derek will play a horror game, and
Did
while
I?
he never said that he would do it, he did like the comment. So,
You know what?
you know what?
You know what?
You know what?
Sweet Home. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll play Sweet Home.
You play Sweet
on-
Home?
Yeah, Sweet Home. It was the inspiration for Resident Evil. It was based on a movie. It was made for the Famicom. It was a Japan exclusive, but it got a fan translation. And if we make it to 500 guys, I will play it. We'll
There you
live
go,
stream it
guys.
on Halloween.
Incentives.
Yeah, I'll live stream it on Halloween. There we go. I'm not above begging. No.
There you go, guys. Incentives. If we can get 500 follows in the new channel, which again, I don't think it's impossible. Like we're like more than halfway there. Like Derek will play a horror game in Sweet Home, or Silent Hill 2, and I'll sponsor it.
All right.
All right. So
Baku's about to make 130 alts and subscribe to us.
Go right on over there. Go to the new channel, which is, by the way, is pinned on the top chat, and we'll talk about like the new channel like later on too, because I think some folks might have missed like what we were talking about earlier. But we'll
I wonder
wait
why.
towards like the end of the show, I guess. Yeah. But anywho, the new channel is pinned in the message in Derek's chat. So if you're watching in Derek's channel right now, check out that that link
That pinned
to
comment,
our new channel. We're really trying to get monetized over there, and then help us transition over to a standalone site. So thank you so much for your support. Back to Silent Hill 2. Yes, this game is coming out on October 8th. That is in 2 days on PS5 and PC via Steam. So you have 2 ways to play.
All right.
Derek has the PS5, by the way.
I do. I do.
He does.
So I've actually been playing a lot of PS5 in the last couple of days, and it's for a game I can't even talk
you
about.
enjoying it?
And it sucks. I've been enjoying playing a game very much, a lot more than I thought I would. I would say, I would say I'm enjoying my time
Sounds like
quite
a
a
new
bit.
Derek video in the making, but okay.
Yeah, it is in the making,
Yes.
and it has such a tight deadline too. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything is fine. Hey guys, did you know that Atlus's newest IP and game that has been garnering praises from all who have played it is coming out this week?
Ooh,
it's a
what
little
would that
game.
be? I've been hiding under a rock. I have no idea what you're talking about. What
It's a
game is
little
that?
game. It's a little game called Simile. Wait, no. It's not a simile. It's a metaphor ReFantazio. And this
I'm just thinking in some alternative universe is called Simile Fantasio again.
you know, it's one of those forms of exaggeration. Anyways, so the game is going to be releasing on the 11th for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, and PC via Steam. And we've got the trailer. I wonder, will it play here too, or will it not? Okay, I think it
will.
might.
Yeah, it's not giving you the warning and such.
All right. Well,
It's rated
time out.
teen.
there we go.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the demo's also out, and people have been playing the demo for about a week now. It is, it is so fun.
I am abstaining from playing the demo, despite everyone's praising it. They're like, "Oh, have you played the demo?" Nope. And again, the reason why I'm not playing the demo is because I know I will get the game. I'm already convinced. I want it to be a fresh experience when I play
Gotta
it,
play
when
from
I
start to
that
finish.
game.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the demo. Like even that is spoiling the experience for me. Right? I'm only playing demo if I'm like on the fence. Like I don't know if I want. Like this is truly a trial for me. And if the demo goes well, I'll buy it. But if I already know that I'm getting it, then there's no point for me personally to get the demo.
Yeah.
Before anyone else, though.
clearly everybody who I know who's played it has enjoyed the heck out of it. I got to play it a couple months early at NYC. So much fun being out there to play it and like immediately just get to like talk shop with everybody who played it.
Ooh.
Dude, this legit like I'm. They did reach out to sponsor a video for me. I'm like, I'm too busy, guys. But I do want to make a review of this game, because it is. I feel like this is, gonna be the big one this year.
People have bombarded my inbox over metaphor.
Like
Like,
I don't,
guys, please.
I don't usually like. I don't usually say like, oh, game of the year. I don't even have like a game of the year list or like top games of this year for me. Like it just seems not right. But this feels like, of every game that I've played so far, this feels like it's on another level.
Ooh.
Like it feels like this is
to hear that.
the big one of the year, So yeah, anyways, it's coming out on the 11th, just 5 days away from now. And apparently there's also some streaming guidelines that Atlas have provided, and it's kind of standard this time around. Apparently you can stream and make videos, but not paywalls.
Yeah, no paywalls.
So you can't like make a pay money to watch me stream the game for money. Yeah. Sort of like okay.
Yeah, well, so I guess this is for
like you can take donations, but you can't paywall.
Yeah. So for example, if you're streaming on Twitch or YouTube and people give you super chat or people give you bits and whatnot, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to turn off monetization. What they're saying is you can't make people pay you money and then let them see the thing.
Like, you can't charge admittance.
Yeah, you can't charge admittance to this. That's what they're saying. Yeah, which is standard.
I do wonder though because I know that there are some people who have like sub-only streams on Twitch, which is weird, but I guess that exists, and I guess you can't do that too.
Like membership only content. Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to do membership only content with this.
Yeah, I guess that's
because it requires you to have membership to see the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then also, it's got to be must have commentary and be transformative, so you can't just like. Well, gosh, I know that the bar is really low.
You can't just like play the movie and make a video of just like the opening movie and then like play a certain song and set it on loop and don't add any commentary. It's not transformative. It's just the piece of music. And that's a no. But again, it's very standard. Like that's basically a lot of.
But the weird thing is like they also want you to like apparently give proper credit, copyright notice, like as if I made this game, guys. Like that's the funny thing. Like of course, I mean, no that they made this game. Like who else would have?
They're getting there though. Give them some credit. They've gone a long way since P5. Like P5 and then P3 and then now, like they're getting it. They're getting the lawyers are loosening up. Like
I still remember when they ported Persona 4 Golden to PC, like this 10-year-old game, and they're like, no spoilers.
Yes. That was crazy. Everyone was crapping on Atlas for their streaming guidelines or whatever, or the extremely strict guideline that they had. Now they just want you to warn
progress.
People. Yeah. Well, the one more thing that I forgot to put in, they want you to put a spoiler to say that it will contain spoiler. Again, just. Of course, we're streaming the game. What did you think you're walking into? But they want you to tell people that there are going to be spoilers in you streaming the game and playing the game. I guess you know what, the spoiler tag is more for like videos, I guess, because you can technically make videos about the game that doesn't contain spoiler, I guess. I don't know.
Anyway. That's neither here nor there. The game is phenomenal, and Atlas is apparently getting a little better, which is pretty cool.
Celebrating progress.
Yep. Progress, not perfection. So
progress, not perfection is fine.
Let's go ahead and switch on over to the new games that got announced.
Yes. So this one is my bad because I completely missed this, but I do want to talk about it. So if you haven't played Spike Chunsoft's latest hit, Master Detective Archives Raincoat, but you want to, or lament the fact that it was only released on the Switch. The Switch! If only it was on any other system, you would play it. Well, you might want to pay attention to this because I was one of those people. I'm like, I don't want to get this on the Switch. Spike Chunsoft just announced that they will be releasing the definitive edition called Master Detective Archives Raincoat Plus. In addition to the base game, the Plus edition will feature 4K compatibility. So in case you're playing on 4K TV, it'll look significantly better. Improved performances, probably with all the 3Ds. A new gallery mode, and all 5 sub-stories that were sold as separate DLCs will now just be included in the game. Yeah. So it's like not really getting the game all over again, but you're getting the game plus all the DLCs. And you know what? Here's the thing. And this is like a little anecdotal, but like all the friends who have played the game, like they played it on the Switch, they said this game is like phenomenal. So I haven't played it, so don't take my words for it. But we can take a look at the trailer actually real quick. So that people know actually what even we're talking about.
Yeah, because it's not like one of those games that needs no introduction. It does need need one. Here,
it's no Danganronpa, but it is from the creator. It has the same art style, but it's like a distinct world that is not related at all.
That's not it.
Yeah, that's not it. There we go.
Yeah, for some reason it skipped right in the middle.
Raincoat Plus. Raincoat Plus. Raincoat Plus.
To me,
I mean, it's raining, so yeah, maybe he's wearing a raincoat, and it is.
My bitter past, my fun memories. So it
has to do with like murder mysteries and it has some action element. It's not like a usual game, a conventional game, I guess.
Sure.
Like it's a lot of unconventional elements to it. But I've heard that it's very well put together. The story, the gameplay, like everything is superb from what I've heard. And I can't wait to get my hands on it and actually give it a shot. When
Did this one contain any turn-based combat, or was it... or was this the one that had not turn-based? It had some kind of combat, right?
Yes.
But what about you? I think I remember seeing
not in the conventional sense, though.
Yeah, like you pick sentences that are...
It's like, yes. I don't want to be misleading. Like, you really just have to see this thing for yourself.
You know, it occurred to me. So somebody asked me earlier who the pink-haired girl was on the cover, and I just realized there were actually 2 pink-haired girls in the thumbnail. One of them is from here, and the other is from another game.
Yeah, you're really feeling the pink hair today.
I guess so.
Yes. And all these detectives have like different powers. I mean,
yeah. So there's combat.
Do you call that turn-based combat? Like,
I don't know. There's some kind of combat. I don't know if it's based on turns or something else, but as long as there's like gameplay and not just like walking around.
There's absolutely gameplay. This is not a visual novel. For anyone who's wondering, like, is this like a visual novel? Or I just sit there and just like watch things unfold? No, there's absolutely gameplay in this. Yeah, this is totally a game.
Yeah, because I think Danganronpa didn't really have any combat of any sort.
So that's why combat.
So that's why I was like wanting a little bit of clarification on that, because you know, I like combat.
That's what makes you sound so militant. You know, I love combat.
But only if we take turns hitting each other. That's very important.
You must love Pokemon. Speaking of taking turns to hit each other. So this game is actually immediately available. In fact, it was available as of like 5 days ago. And again, I'm only talking about this because I completely missed this. I thought whenever I read articles that mentioned Raincoat, I thought they were just talking about like the base game. I didn't see the word plus. So skipped through our radar. So that's my fault. Until very recently when they were talking about, the actual release. And I was like, oh, this is a thing. Oh my God. Yeah, they've announced this a while ago.
Yeah, so it's kind of like when they released the new or the new 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS. It's like a lot of people just didn't notice because it just said new, and
Yeah.
it's
Or if this was like
you
a simple
got.
port,
Mhm.
like that just like gives you 4K, I probably wouldn't mention it. But
Yeah,
this
it's
comes
just
with all the DLC, which is the important part.
yeah,
Like you pay for the game, you get all the DLC. You don't have to buy
it's
additional things. So
the definitive
it is different.
edition
Yeah.
on more platforms, and that's cool.
Yeah. More ways to
So
play. I'm not mad at it. Yeah.
here's a creator. I've actually been following them on Twitter for like a year now.
Oh.
It's I know I'm so excited for this. It's a brand new RPG inspired by the classic like 90s Zeldas and Secret of Mana or Seiken Densetsu rather, and
Hmm.
the Soul Blazer series called Maple Forest. That's just
Hmm.
been announced by Natsukaze, and they are the sole developer of this little
I
like Game
totally
Boy
misspelled
looking game.
soul.
Oh, that's all right. So, I mean, maybe both, maybe
Maybe
SOUL
both, yeah.
and SOLE. Okay, let's check out the trailer together because I've been wanting to see more of this game it's just been screenshots up to this point for me. So,
Let's just
oh,
hit them up. Be like, yo, psst,
look at this.
Natsukase, if you wanna hang out on the show for a minute, like, that'd be great.
So this is the fox in the thumbnail, by the way. It's a little fox Linky kind of guy.
That's cute.
Oh, he's got a hook shot, sort of.
Oh, that's the secret mana thing.
Oh yeah, the whip. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Definitely.
the flashy spin and stuff. Like, just like,
Oh.
what are you?
I love the pixel art in this. Like, sure, it's monochrome Game Boy style, but
Mhm.
it's nicely done. And it's also definitely higher resolution than a Game Boy Color or a Game
Oh
Boy would have
yeah,
been.
most definitely.
Ah,
Yeah, I can. Yeah, we can definitely see the Zelda.
Oh yeah.
Zelda inspirations.
I've been wanting to see this for so long.
Rupees.
Ooh. Yes. Oh, look at those lighting effects. That's cool.
Ooh.
This is so cool. I have a soft spot for Game Boy RPGs and action adventure games like this. As you might be able to tell, but oh man, the music in this is so good too. Like the effect, it's like a Super Nintendo sound chip, but
Ooh, that's
like
a scary looking boss.
What?
Is that the Epoch? It looked like it for a second, okay?
It did look like the Epoch. Probably not an unintentional reference.
Oh wow, you can transform into a statue.
Is that a fox or a tanuki?
A tanuki. Tanuki's fox's like mortal enemies.
Oh, the Keton,
Yeah.
right?
So I'm guessing that was a tanuki. Maple Forest.
Dude, hey, that's in color.
That's in color. That's cheating. That can't be in
Yeah.
color. Yeah. Gonna write to the developer
Is
and
there any more?
complain. How dare you use
There is more. Oh,
There's more.
different palettes.
With your kind support, Maple Forest launches summer 2025. Oh, there's a release time frame. I couldn't find it. It's at the end of this
Man.
trailer.
I am so excited.
Ooh, okay.
I've been following these guys for so long, or this guy rather, on Twitter for a while. Twitter, since it was probably still called Twitter. Dude, it's looking real good. So, yeah.
This man is geeking out a little hard, man. Look at
I'm
him go.
hyping pretty responsibly, if I may say so
blame
myself.
you. It looks like a
Now,
really fun game.
It's currently being developed for the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 and series consoles and PC being planned, but it's being made for Switch. there is a Kickstarter that is live right now that's going on for the next 23 days. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it is already pretty well funded, isn't it? I think it was funded in like its first few days. If I'm read their
It's already funded, yeah.
Yeah.
In the first 7 hours, they said?
the first 7 hours. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter and I was like, I can't. I'm just excited. So, do we have a link to the Twitter or to the Kickstarter we can throw in chat?
I can look it up if you want to keep chatting.
All right, yeah. Are y'all excited about that? Oh man. So Lowest Expectations says, "Is it not coming to Steam?" And that's a good question. I'll check that out. Because that does seem like an odd omission, doesn't it?
So, well, I mean, so here it is. Like from what I've read, I think they did like an interview, like a text writing interview with someone at some point. And I was reading it, and I think they said that they're developing it for the Switch, but PS5 and Xbox Series and PC are being planned.
Okay, so yeah, PC is still planned. It's just not it's not a done deal just yet. But it does seem strange that it would you would think it would be there first, because I feel like most indies are, but I'm not going to complain.
Maybe they had a thing with Nintendo.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll have to interview the guy and find out.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it. It actually says in the Kickstarter page, Maple Forest physical edition, physical copy of Maple Forest, either the Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series, or PC. All physical Kickstarter copies will be using Kickstarter exclusive version, box art, yada yada. So yeah, so they're totally talking about like other whatchamacallit, other
stretch goals and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not stretch goal, other platforms.
Yeah. They've
So, yeah,
got
so-
plans for other platforms.
Yeah,
for
they,
sure.
they absolutely have plans for it. So I think Steam is probably like extremely likely though, just like everyone has their games on Steam.
Yeah. It's interesting that they're saying Switch 2 also. I wonder. Hopefully that'll be up by then. So, so that pink-haired girl in the thumbnail is from another game. Do you want to tell us about it, Baku?
Yeah. What? Which one? What? The other pink hair girl?
The other
What?
pink-haired girl. Yeah, we have.
Okay.
That's a tempted segue.
So, from developer Ephemera comes a new multiplayer roguelike action RPG called Kernel Hearts. The game follows a group of super-powered android magical girls, all the keywords, called Mahou Unit, MAHOU, all acronym, who are tasked to destroy a god to save the world from the brink of extinction. It is about as weeb as it gets. It's a group of super-powered magical girls called the Mahou Unit, which
and they're
for anyone who
androids.
does not know Min runes, it means magic in Japanese. I'm just like, oh my god, some weeb decided to make this game here. Let's take a look at the trailer, just see how bad it is.
Oh, dude, this trailer looks sick, I think. But let's check it out.
Oh no, I mean the game looks great. I mean, let's see how bad it is in terms of how weep it gets. It's pretty weep.
Oh yeah. Girl with an eye patch and a samurai sword. Oh yeah.
The Mahou Unit.
But yeah, it's got nice character designs.
Yeah.
I think that the combat in the game looks pretty awesome as far as action RPG combat goes. It does look a little flashy. Zoom aroundy, maybe teleporty. Yeah.
And you can totally die, because this is what dying looks like. There.
Apparently.
I like the character design.
That guy's gonna die too because he's smoking.
Oh yeah, he's totally gonna die.
His days are numbered.
I mean, it's got something for everyone. It's got a couple husbandos in there,
Yeah. I think that's
got something for the whole family.
It's important. Magical girl
Look at that
transformations.
magical girl transformation sequence.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Pink hair, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Complete with the pose.
Oh yeah. Is that a Vocaloid?
I don't think so. They had to pay a lot of royalties if they wanted these designs.
Like maybe like a in the background music I'm talking, like is that some kind of Vocaloid?
That I don't know. Either that or just like highly synthesized vocals.
A Vocaloid alike. At this point I feel like with AI music you can have a Vocaloid pretty easily.
Yes, actually. Putting them out of business. Terrible.
Robots hurting
robots, man.
Exactly.
Robots and robot violence. In a business sense, guys, not like physically. Although they do have those like Robot Rumble Arena. You've seen those?
No.
Where you put like a couple of robots and they
like
just,
battle bots?
Yeah, they just beat the crap out of each other. Like they're live. They're real robots too.
Yeah. They've been around since like the 90s.
Yeah,
those kinds of like competitions.
Robot violence.
Anyways, I thought you were talking about like humanoid robot fights. I'm like, I would watch that. That'd be pretty cool.
Once we can get them to walk upright and actually not. Actually, were we able to do it? I remember seeing like the dog robot from like. What was that, like Boston Dynamics?
Oh yeah, Boston Dynamics.
But I don't remember seeing like a bipedal.
They got bipedal
that can
bots.
have that level of agility. Not yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think they need to be that agile. I'd watch Osmo get torn apart. Okay, that's terrible.
Derek's not in for MMA. Like, real human hurting each other. That's terrible. Let's just replace them with robots.
Yeah.
No release time frame for this game, so I think it's fairly early in development, but it is being developed for PC via Steam, so definitely wishlist this on Steam if you're interested.
All right. So moving along, we've got another one here coming from developer Maz.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Sorry, I just had to open the door to my room. Yeah.
From developer
it's getting a little
Maz.
warm in my room.
Comes a new turn-based pixel RPG with a very unique art style called Artis Impact that takes place in a post-apocalyptic world, and it has a trailer as well.
Yeah, I think you would like this. I don't think you've seen this one. Have you? Have you seen this one?
I have not seen this. It did not make it into the JRPG Weekly Update because I didn't see it.
It's like a.
Oh, it reminds me of like those old GIFs from back in the day that used to go on for like 2 minutes.
Yes.
Those were so cool back in the day. Anyways.
But made into a game.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And I think you're right. That's what it reminded me of. But it's like way more stylish, of course, in terms of like the design and stuff.
Super clean. At least there it was.
Yeah.
I gotta see more gameplay.
I want to see more combat shots.
That is interesting. What
Just
color? Oh,
fishing? No.
There's color at a certain point.
Yes. I'm reluctant to say Nier Automata, but I feel like there's some of that going on here.
What is?
I just saw like a pod thing.
Yeah.
Fly out. That and like the sort of black and white aesthetics to the main character. That's the overworld map.
That is.
I mean, this is extremely pretty. It's just like it is definitely a very artistic like endeavor. Like it is.
I'd say it really. I mean, the name says artist. I was gonna say it really puts the art in the phrase pixel art. I think that's gorgeous, man.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, well, I'm just gonna, and there's nothing wrong with it, by the way, but like there is that sort of pixel art style that we're used to for like the JRPG from like the golden age of the pixel art from like Super Nintendo and maybe some early PlayStation. But this is a wholly different kind of like aesthetic.
Yeah. So anyways, we don't really Yeah, we don't really have a release date. Currently, it's being developed for PC only. There is a demo available for Steam though, and that's again, it's called Artis Impact, Artis. Go
Yes.
check that out because that is
I
is
might
super
actually play
pretty.
the demo for this just because I'm so intrigued.
Just
You
because,
know.
yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, we've got a game from Bushido Games that was announced actually also some time ago. And the reason why I never brought this game out is because I never saw that they were going to do a Western release or any kind of English support. It looked like it was going to be
Yeah.
Japan only. And now here's the thing, like if it's certain companies like Nisa or Falcom do like a release, and sometimes they'll release things in Japanese first in their domestic market, but quickly follow up and release them in the West, as you all know, then I have no problem like talking about, right? But like for the most part, I shy away from games that I'm not really sure if they're ever going to release outside of Japan, because I'll tell you about it and then it just like never get released in the West, and then we just let it fade and then we never come back to it, right? But now there's confirmation that this game is actually coming to the West, so now I'm eager to tell you about it. Again, it's from Bushido Games, or Bushido Road Games, and it is a side-scrolling action RPG based on a hit series. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Or better known as DanMachi. Like the title would make it sound like it's going to be like a crazy horror thing, huh?
Is that
But like,
is that what it? I mean,
actually,
it's got
it is
Hestia.
not. Far from it, actually. I mean, okay, yes, there is some
There's a
level
little.
of harem involved, but it's not like the guy is actively trying to pick up girls everywhere in a dungeon and it's like super perverted. None of that. In fact, most of the series is just him trying to be a hero. It is actually like an underdog story. Like this guy
Yeah.
comes up as like being pretty weak. He gets picked on all the time, and he actually spends a lot of time growing and learning new skills and challenging himself. And he doesn't get like suddenly super ultra powerful and just beat everyone out of nowhere either. Like
It's
three
just he
seasons
puts in
in,
the
and
work.
he's still like working on it.
Yeah.
So I kind of give it. I have some, and also it's not isekai. It is not isekai. Despite what you might think, it is not isekai. There's no one being reborn
He's from
in
this
this world.
Yep.
Yeah, this is just straight up like fantasy. And I actually really appreciate it because I'm getting that like isekai fatigue as with like everyone else. Like
Little
another
isekai
guy
now.
that's like just reborn and whatever. No, this is just a straight up fantasy work. And it's super cool. For anyone who's not seen the anime. But back to the game itself. This is a side-scrolling action RPG again, so let's take a look at the trailer.
Alrighty.
It is in Japanese because they don't have an English
I was gonna
trailer,
say,
as far as I'm
I couldn't
concerned, yeah.
find an English trailer for JRPG Weekly Update. So when you said that you couldn't even tell if it was coming out to the West, I'm like, yeah, neither could
Until
I.
recently, yeah. Yeah, but this game, or this anime series, I actually really, really enjoy it, and I really do recommend that for people.
You know, I think the first season came out like 5 years ago or so.
It's been
Like,
a while.
I watched some of the first season,
Yeah.
and I didn't get too far. I kind of wanted to put it on hold until it was closer to completion, but
It's gonna be a while.
after listening to you
It's a
talk about
long-running- Yeah.
how many episodes are there?
I think there's 3 seasons out right now. I don't know how many episodes. Because, sometimes one season spans one season worth spans 2 seasons, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say
like it's 26 episodes instead of 13.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. Yeah, there's no standard here.
It's in
in
the
the
fifth
fifth
season,
season.
says.
Never mind. I lied.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Looks like
I
you
don't
have some
even
catching up to
remember
do,
how much
Baku.
of this I watched. I mean, they all blend into a single story for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I'm saying? So I
Seasons
just
don't
watch all
matter
of
when
them.
you're binge watching.
That is what happens when I binge watch, yes, and I do that quite a lot. I don't like cliffhangers for the most part, so when there's a lot, there's a season this season, which is the 5th. Okay, so I watched 4 of them, and they're also like, you know, special episodes, OVAs, movies. I really like this series, just because the name is a little deceptive. The name would make you feel like, yeah, the main character is probably a perv and just picks up girls everywhere. No, far from it. He does none of those things.
So what's the full name of the game?
Oh, jeez. The entire name to this game, get ready for it. It's not the longest, because we've seen longer. Remember that?
I
the
do.
longest name possible?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's not the longest, it's quite long. It is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Question mark. Familiar myth. Dash. Full land of water and light. Fulland is a place in this game where this game takes place, I think.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. So you
Quite
can
the name.
look forward to playing that on February 27, 2025.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. And then we've got some industry news that is, speaking of Forge of the Fae, Derek, do you want to go ahead and tell us about this?
Oh, sure.
Derek told me about this.
Yeah, because I was just, catching up on some stuff. So Forge of the Fae, they hit a new milestone, and David put out there on Twitter that a certain somebody was going to be joining the crew as a guest composer and
Guest musician.
a guest musician.
Yes.
And I don't know this person, but I figured Baku would, since they happen to be known for their work on Nier Automata and Dark Souls. So that'd be Ms. Emi Evans is going to be joining Forge of the Fae as a guest musician. So that's
Emi
awesome.
Evans, though.
No. Are they any good, Baku? Can you tell me?
Are they any good?
Yeah,
Are they any good?
who dis? Never played Automata. Who dis?
I mean, I feel like maybe Derek should play Nier Automata. I don't know. I just feel like he's missing out on one of the best game ever made. Just saying.
All right, guys. 500 subs this month to the new YouTube channel, and maybe I'll play one stream of Nier Automata.
Oh, I think once you play one stream, you'll play the entire thing. There's no way. Also, here's the thing: Nier Automata is not even a long game. Like in all, like, yeah, no, compared to all the RPGs, no, it's a pretty short game. You can finish it in like probably 4 streams.
Oh yeah,
unlike
because you only play it through once, right?
No, like through all the endings to completion, you could probably do it in 4 streams. It's not a long game.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, no, it's Nier Automata is not a long game at all. But anyways, I digress. I mean, everything is short compared to Persona and SMT and
that's fair.
Trails to anything. Yeah, think of it more like Ys length.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Fairly short. I mean, it long enough to tell a good story, but it won't overstay its welcome, which is, again, another thing I appreciate about Nier Automata. But back to Miss Emi Evans. Oh, my God. Probably one of the best vocalists I've heard, like, ever in my life. She is amazing. Her just artistry, I want to say. It's not even like, oh, yeah, she's a great singer. It's just her artistry is it's hard to explain because I'm not like, I'm not a musician, so it's hard to explain it, right? Mm-hmm. But she's just on another level. Okay. Like when you hear her, and you would have heard her voice if you had ever played Nier Automata or really any of the Nier games. I believe she was also in the original Nier. I believe, and I could be wrong, and chat can correct me on this, but I think she was responsible for creating that like make-believe language for the Nier games, and the vocal thereof. So when you hear like some of the Nier tracks or Nier Automata tracks, and then it just sounds like gibberish. You're not sure like what they're singing. Like it just vaguely sounds like some kind of language. That's Emi Evans. She made that. She composed it, and she performed it all to like a masterful degree. Chaos language, yeah. Wow. All to like it's just incredible. So that's why I say it's like an artistry. It's not just like, oh yeah, she's got great vocal. No, she's does all these things for the game.
right.
And without her, like Nier wouldn't be what it is. I mean, yes, sure, Okabe is a great composer, but Emi is that magic touch that just added like just that extra oomph that made everything to that level of
You
like
sound pretty
greatness.
excited there, Baku.
I am extremely excited.
Are you
for Emi
hyping
Evans.
responsibly over there?
No, no chill. She is too good. Yeah. So when Derek sent me the message, like, oh yeah, did you know that like Emi Evans gonna be a guest musician for Forge of the Fae? And I'm like, what? Like, David, what did you do? Like, what strings did you pull? Like, how the heck did you get Emi Evans on your game?
Must have been the purse ones.
You know what I think? It's because, it's obvious. It's because David came on our show. That's why. No,
You're right.
Obviously,
well-known fact.
That's the reason
Well-known
why.
fact that Emi Evans watches HitPoint religiously.
Yeah, Emmy was watching the show. Miss Evans was watching the show. She's watching the show right now. Shout out to Miss Evans. And then she's like, "Oh wow, this game looks cool. I should reach out to David to see if he would like me to be a guest." Of course,
happy we could assist.
Could be no other explanation.
No other explanation.
No other explanation possible. No, but seriously, this
by
is,
the way, that's a facetious.
Amazing.
These are jokes, people. Okay, so
all right.
You want to talk about this next one?
Moving on from my excitement, I think this next piece of news might be exciting to some of you. I'm pretty interested in this one. So a new NHK documentary series is coming out soon that will delve into the origin of Japanese games industry. And the first episode will focus on Final Fantasy and its creators, Hironobu Sakaguchi, Koichi Ishii, the character designer, Yoshitaka Amano, which because a lot of you guys know as like the weird art that comes with like Final Fantasy, like the character concept art that like doesn't really translate into the game itself. But like he has a very extremely unique style, like the Amano art. Like as soon as you say Amano, you're like, oh, that thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah,
Derek.
I know the watercolor stuff that like
the watercolor stuff. I don't want to make it sound like it's bad. It's just like it's like a thing that never translates into the game. And people are always like, well, what is this? What does it have to do with like the character design? No, he does like the design and concept art, and it's like legendary, right?
He sets the tone. Yeah.
So he's gonna be in these, and of course, we can't talk about Final Fantasy without talking about Nobuo Uematsu. He's also going to be interviewed in this series from NHK. So that's just the first episode. They plan on doing like a series of that talks about different games in the industry, right? So I don't know what other games they plan on diving into, but at least this first episode will be on nothing but just like Final Fantasy. And also, sorry, one more person, Katsuko Shibuya. She's the, again, legendary pixel artist who worked on some of the earliest, like, remarkable pixel art that a lot of people have taken inspiration from and have since followed the style thereof. Like, this is the person who had started it all. So kind of an unsung hero kind of thing. So yeah, we talk about Sakaguchi all the time. We talk about, Uematsu, but did you know that there's a person named Katsuko Shibuya who really pioneered these pixel arts? Bet you haven't. Well, you will get to hear their story and much more in this documentary series that will debut in NHK on November 11th, so next month sometime. Yeah. And it will be available in English on his website, so you don't have to understand moon runes.
That was going to be my big question. Is like, this all sounds good and all, but if it stays in Japanese only,
it's like, I have a hard time understanding this moon rune here. Sorry, not November 11th. Sorry, October 11th. My bad.
Oh. Yes. Right around the corner.
October 11th.
Week.
Yeah, that's why it's so like imminent. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. It's not November. We're like, hold on a sec. I had to double check it after I said it.
Yeah.
No, it's October 11th.
One of the subroutines picked it up afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, let me just throw a link in chat right now for anyone who might be interested in, because we cannot add links in the description. I just want to give you the link now so you can just go watch it yourself later on.
All right. Next up, we have a little bit of an update on a game that I'm very excited about, and I think a lot of you are too. It's from Sandfall Interactive and Kepler Interactive. They've announced that its upcoming turn-based RPG called Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has achieved over 250,000 wishlists on PC via Steam ahead of its release next year. This is that like
Dang.
realistic looking. I don't know if the word AAA quite applies, but it looks really nice. High fidelity.
Looks that way.
Yeah, it looks that way, but it's not from like a huge team or anything, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, over 250,000 follows. That's good. That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like I guess it kind of brings us to this whole thing, which is like they have, boldly claim that this is a turn-based JRPG. They've said it. They're like, we're not going to be shy about this. This is going to be a JRPG. And not only is it going to be a JRPG, it is going to be a JRPG that's going to blow your socks off. Like they've made some bold claims, right?
That's
like, we're like, oh yeah, what does that look like? And then of course the trailer comes out and everyone is like just drops their jaw like this game looks amazing. The the visuals, the battle like of what we have seen looks great. The backstory is intriguing. They've also give us like snippets of like what's happening in that world. Like why is there an expedition? Like what does that all mean? Everything about it is just like it just draws you in, right? But the important thing is that this is a single player turn-based RPG. Okay, no gachas. Okay, no multiplayer, anything, not action.
No games as a service.
Maybe fishing. I don't know. Like we'll see, because you can't call yourself a JRPG. You don't have a fishing mini game there. I hope they got the memo.
Fact.
Yeah. So, I think that's the notable thing. Like this is exactly the polar opposite of what people like, Tim Sweeney, if you know who that is, that's the Epic guy, who's so set on, the fact that everyone's going to be multiplayer now. Okay. Single player experience is dead. Like the dude's like famous in basically being wrong about that. So when you have 250,000 people wishlisting a game, just on Steam only. Now, remember, this game comes on platform. There are a bunch of other platforms like, PlayStation, Xbox. We're not counting those. Just Steam is 250 so far. That's crazy.
Pretty wild, man.
Yeah. So much for generational change. So much for single players dead. We never believed it for a second because we still like single player and we're not dying. Hopefully, anytime soon.
I feel like there's got to be other people
wait a minute.
out there who are like me that like the idea of multiplayer is physically repulsive. I'm good with like co-op, but like online multiplayer, like nah. I'd rather play games with people I know, if at all.
Yeah, and to be clear, this is not us hating on multiplayer. It's not one or the other. It's not like I hate Roblox or like I hate.
I do.
Oh, you hate Roblox? Okay,
I hate it. I don't know Roblox. All I know is like they have that oof sound, and I hate it. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But
or like I hate MMOs or that's another game that has like multiplayer.
Am I counterculture? Is that this whole
does
like
that make you counterculture?
Yeah, I think
according to Sweeney, yes.
I'm cool.
According to Sweeney, you're a hipster. I don't know.
Oh man, well, I mean, look at me.
What's that one game from Capcom? Monster Hunter. Yeah, it's not like I hate Monster Hunter. Like these things just coexist, just like PC versus like console. There's no versus; they just both exist. Like I don't know why people just can't just like let that be.
I don't think
every
anybody
single year there has to be like death to the console and deaf to single player or deaf to turn based. Like, no, they are very much alive in 2024,
It seems
decades after
weird.
these predictions.
It seems strange to me that anybody at any point would be like, could with a straight face say, that single player is dead any more than they could say multiplayer is dead. Like, it's obviously that's an obvious falsehood, but whatever.
So I was talking about this on my Discord, and then one of our resident, like, friend hanging out in Discord, he was like, oh well, it's just the internet, like it's just people overreacting to single player, and they're like, single player is dead. And then I told him, like, you know what, if it was only just small number of people on the internet overreacting and making a big fuss over things, it wouldn't be such an issue. The problem is heads of these studios are convinced that single players games are dead. Remember Square Enix CEO, or at least the previous CEO, who really want to start moving Square Enix away from single player experience to multiplayer experience. And Platinum Games CEO, the new one that came in, same thing, right? And
there is one counter argument I could see is if this person was talking specifically about like the monetization aspect of it, because multiplayer people who play, those kinds of games, they do spend more, they do be spending, whereas single player is like a one and done. You release the game, they buy it once, they're done. So like comparatively, from a money perspective, it's probably not even close anymore. But from the perspective of like what gamers want to play, it's not dead.
Yeah, it's a weird, it's a little paradoxical. But I think the danger to that thinking, at least for them, is, they're thinking like, Fortnite's the future kind of deal. Or, like that's what everyone is flocking to. It's like, no, Fortnite is more of an exception, not the rule.
Yeah, but also one of the mistakes,
why,
one of the other mistakes they're making is thinking that there can be multiple Fortnites and they will happen to be whatever the other Fortnite is. Like that's very unlikely. And aiming for that is very precarious and laden with its own downfalls.
Yeah. I mean, if Fell of Babylon is anything to go off of, I mean, look, you can say that it didn't work out because it was just genuinely a bad game, but the reality is we had a Square Enix CEO who was very keen on making that like the new flagship for Square Enix. And also a equally enthused CEO or president who was heading Platinum Games, who also have gone on record to say we are now only going to focus on multiplayer experience, the entire studio. Yeah, he's gone on record to say that we're not doing single player games anymore, which they're famous for developing, by the way. We're not going to do any of that anymore. We're going to do multiplayer only. The first thing that they made was with Square Enix, their old partner in crime, because Nier Automata was so well, right? Because before that, like they were working with other studios. They went into this multiplayer thing. They had the shared vision. It was going to be grand. It was going to be great, and it flopped like hell. And everyone involved was burned to oblivion. I was kind of hoping that they learned their lesson. But, I don't know how much faith I have in, game studios learning their lessons. Still, I'm very, worried about that. But the fact of the matter is it doesn't end well. And there will always be, there will be like 30 attempts and one success. But then everyone is trying to beat that success and they're completely forgetting all the failures that could happen, maybe a little bit too optimistic and not realistic enough in their expectation. Because Derek, to your point, like there basically can only be one. I mean, there's a limited pot of money that's going around.
There can only be one cultural phenomenon. That's what makes it a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they think all it takes is one success.
Yeah.
But at what cost, right? They just they bled money. I mean what, Sony?
It reminds me of people who are like, oh, I just got to make one viral YouTube video, and then my channel's going to blow up. It's like, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
And the chances of that video going viral are like incredibly thin and narrow. And yeah, it's
like betting your life on a lottery. Do people win lotteries? Yes. Should you bet your future on winning on one? No.
Yeah, it's not an investment strategy.
Yeah, it's not a great investment strategy. So, I can retire if I win the lottery. Like,
all I gotta do is just, buy more lottery tickets.
Yes, just buy more lottery tickets. My entire investment account is just to buy lottery tickets.
Yeah,
I will win one of these days. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah. Are there success stories? Sure. Is it likely? No, not at all. Anywho, I think that's the interesting thing. So I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? Like, do you think this is like the major comeback, if there even was a decline of single player games, or do you feel like it's just kind of like a pendulum thing where we're kind of swinging left and right and we're just trying to find a sweet spot where the two can kind of coexist, which I don't think they were ever at odds to begin with, but these companies just keep wanting to have us go to the thing that makes them the most money.
Maybe,
truly.
Is this another thing like the console wars, where like the only one who wins in a console war is like the game studios, who are like, yeah, go champion our cause,
I don't know, like
build that brand loyalty.
That's true. There's the whole brand loyalty thing, but the console war is kind of interesting to me because without the console war, there's no competition, and no competition, we would lose as consumers. So
that is true. I think though, when I think of the console wars, I think of like
tribalism,
the '90s.
Oh,
the '90s console wars. That was a whole other beast. Are you a Sega kid? Or are you a Nintendo kid? Like that was That was
what
different.
Sega does what Nintendo don't, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one. That was so good. I want Sega to come back and make consoles again. Like forget Nintendo. It's just come back and give us Dreamcast 2. I will buy Dreamcast 2. They were so good. And this time maybe don't let like Sega US like make any decision. Just centralize your console making decision to, not have Sega US like just do their own thing. Like that was crazy. Yeah. Learn from your mistakes, Sega.
Well, I mean, I think they did, and getting out of the
by exiting the console.
Probably...
I am worried that Xbox is going to exit the console war. To be very honest, I'm very nervous that Xbox will leave, because not that I'm a fan of Xbox, but I like the competition. I like that there is something that keeps Sony on their toes just a little bit. But without Microsoft, like it's just full reign for Sony, because Nintendo is not trying to compete against Sony per se. I mean, despite being the console, they're not competing on the same things. They haven't for a while.
While Xbox is less competitive with the kinds of games that we care about, I do think that we're seeing a rising competitor in PC, especially Steam Deck, and just PC gaming. And honestly, like PlayStation 5 at this point is kind of like, for 500, for 600, that's a pretty decent gaming PC money. Like, but like, it does well for what it costs, especially if you go like secondhand or something. As opposed to like spending 600 on a PC, like you could probably get along okay, but PS5 is probably a better experience for the money. But yeah, I think that if Microsoft eventually exits consoles, then there will still be competition. It'll just be probably a little more fierce, you know, and it's going to just basically come down to budget and
Yeah.
because and you know the number of people who are making games, especially RPGs on PC, is increasing pretty drastically at this point.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I think Martino
People are
Magico
getting
just said
more tech
recently
savvy.
that that consoles in general are becoming kind of less relevant over time.
I mean, I still see console as just having this one leg up over PC, and I've not thought of a way personally that, you know, could overcome this, and that is the console is a single spec that you have to adhere to. Everything
Mhm.
just works. There's a company that will fix your stuff. You don't,
Yeah.
you know, it has a proprietary operation system pretty
Mhm.
much. So it's a one-stop shop. You plug it in, it plays, it
Yeah.
works. People will say, well, but what about pre-built PCs? But you still have different specs. Every single PC basically has different specs.
That's
And
right.
so developers have to consider all the different specs, all your CPUs, all your GPUs, all the different combinations, and troubleshoot a bunch of things versus console is just, well, this is the spec. Here it is. All the millions of people own the system, same thing. Update, push through, boom, everyone has the same thing. You know,
Mhm.
it's way easier to deal with.
Yep. As a consumer, it's easier than PC.
And
Yep.
that's just a thing that, no offense, like PC can't do. Yeah, pre-built you can plug and play, sure. But from the developer standpoint, it's still thousands and thousands of combinations of hardware. You know,
Mhm.
all these different companies making different kinds of PCs and the next generation, different graphics card, different parts in general. Like they're not unified, right?
Yeah.
So from a developer perspective, it could be very painful.
Yep.
And this is coming from a person who has been building PCs for years and years and years. Like I've been doing this for like
Oh yeah.
more than 2
I
decades.
think you and I know more than anybody as who've been like on the support side of things. Some people don't want to put any thought into it. They are happy put in the cartridge or the disc and go.
Yeah.
You know, or I guess
And I don't
just
blame them because
select it from the store.
I don't want to deal with it. Like
I know.
I come home from a long day of work, I just want to play a game. Or I just
Yeah.
want to watch a movie or something. Like I don't want to deal with all this. Like I don't
Gaming
care.
is a hobby,
You know?
and some people just want to enjoy the hobby without having a second hobby of being into computers, and I get that.
Yeah, and there's no shame in that. Like, you know, Derek and I happen to be in the tech field, and we happen to be more tech savvy than the average person. So like we don't, you know, we don't think anything of it. But there's plenty of people who just don't want to touch a tech, and that's perfectly fine. So yeah, I just don't see any way around it, quite frankly. I have not thought of a way around it where you could somehow unify the different builds and then just do like one build for a game that just works for everything, guarantee. You can't.
Well, you know, in 20, 30 more years, you know, we'll have the Omni system that everybody just uses. You know, it's a subscription-based service that you have to the
Oh jeez.
to the Omni computer,
The
and we all
Omni
just plug into
computer.
we all plug into the Matrix, and you just, you know, that's how it is.
Yeah. The problem with cloud gaming, by the way, I see people talking about cloud gaming. The problem with cloud gaming, it, again, just this continuous thing that happens, which is connectivity and latency. If you live in like a major city, you have good internet connection, of course, yeah, that's fine. And you can have like a center of all these hardware, and then you're basically just streaming the game, and you have like an input and display coming back and forth between you and the center. Yeah, of course. But you're discounting all the people that don't have that kind of connection, which is actually a big chunk of the world don't have that kind of connection to sustain like real time action gameplay. Turn
That
based,
sliver
maybe.
of people though
Yeah.
is shrinking. It's not very fast, but it is shrinking. And again, 20, 30 years.
Oh, and as game processing demands go higher, so does the, you know, the bit rate, right? So as
Maybe.
the games look prettier, more pixels, guess what? More data being transferred.
I don't think like here's the thing, like we can already not really perceive 4K worth of pixels as it is, like from a certain distance. Like unless you're like this close to a 4K screen, like you're probably not perceiving every pixel. So there is an upper threshold.
I mean, they have to do some clever like net like rollback.
Sure.
Like, yeah, they have to do some clever net codes, but like
especially when they introduce like, you know, eye tracking, and they can increase the bit rate and resolution to where you're looking at on the fly, like they've done for some headset based stuff. Yeah, you can really offset the required bit rate pretty well. Again, 20 to 30 years, the Omni computer is going to have us all plugged into the, you know, the Matrix anyway. But until then, yeah, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I won't say with any level of certainty what happens then, because boy, like if you just look backward, let's take us back 30 years, right? Like we wouldn't imagine 2024 being like this, like as far as like technology, what is capable is concerned. Like a lot of this would just like seem like magic. I mean, certain visionary would say like, oh yeah, no, totally saw that coming. But
I mean, 3 years ago, ChatGPT wasn't even like a thing, and now it's like now we have, you know, generated AI videos that what?
Yeah.
The progress has been, there has been much progress.
So absolutely. But I think I'm a little bit more pessimistic on this one, not because of like technology, but more just the implementation thereof and the business end of things.
Oh yeah.
You have to get, I mean, getting internet company to, you know, improve their networks to people who are living in like more rural areas is the kind of business endeavor that I don't see them doing. So it's not about like technology only, but there are
is
business
that.
ends of things that I don't see happening.
But there are also going to be Starlinks and its competitors and things that can beam satellite.
If internet companies were competitive, you see. But they're not. Remember, like at least in the States. Okay, I'm just talking about in the States. But at least in the States, they're hardly competitive. Like there's usually one dominant like internet provider in your area.
At best, it's like a duopoly in most places.
And that's the problem.
At best,
they're not. If they were actually competitive all over the place, I would probably agree with you. But they're not.
So,
and that's been a problem.
Before I think we've already belabored the point at this point, but do you want to move us along to some of the merch that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, let's talk about merch drop. So, sorry, we get nerds get excited about
about technology.
Technologies. I apologize. Okay, let's. Oh wait, did I accidentally close it out?
Oh, maybe.
Nope, no, I did not.
Nope.
Okay. Do you see it? You want to switch over?
I see it.
All right, let's talk about merch drops. So this is going to be exciting for some people who does not require the internet to do any of this, and that is a tabletop RPG. Yay!
Hey,
physical
I
RPGs.
Like
yeah, really taking that physical to the next level. Okay. So for any
wait, is this multiplayer? Gross.
Multiplayer. I have to sit next to a person to play this. This is called Ys Age of Heroes, which is an official Falcom licensed tabletop RPG. And that is going to be available on Lightning Source, Drive-Thru RPG, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. Oh my god, good old Barnes & Noble still alive? They still exist? What?
That's news to me.
Yeah, so this is the title is stated to be canonically 50 years after Edo Christian's last known whereabouts, and roughly a century after the events of Ys 1 and Ys 2, which is very interesting. So I think for any Ys fans out there, this could be a nice gift, for example, for one of your like super diehard Ys fans. Or if you are that diehard Ys fan yourself, maybe find a couple more of these Ys fans and you can sit together and play this tabletop RPG. It's only going for $60, which is basically like a brand new physical copy, but it does look really pretty. I mean, if nothing else, this could be like an art thing. So yeah, highly recommended for our East fans. Shout out to Noisy Pixel, of course, who covered this piece that we're referencing here. Next, oh boy, this is the final story to the day, and that is the Phantom Thieves are no longer coming from your heart, but they're coming for your wallet.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so Atlas has partnered up with our old friend Prime One Studio. They're known for making extremely detailed statues, basically works of art at this point. They're not even figures anymore. Of pop culture icons. They've done stuff for like Batman. They've done stuff for like Full Metal Alchemist. This time, they're making, surprisingly, not a Joker, but they have chosen Makoto Nijima from Persona 5, and also her personal persona, Johanna, as a new statue. Yeah. It's only going to cost you a measly $1,500 US.
Is that it?
Including shipping.
Only $1,500.
Only
wow.
$1,500. So
does that
affordable.
include like an installation fee or anything, or is that a?
I that might be separate. I don't know. You have to work it out with them. But look at the size of this thing. It's like it stands 42 centimeters. It's 70 centimeters long and 43 centimeters wide. It's a hefty art piece. I want to call this an art piece. I don't want to call this a figure. A figure is like $200. This is not a figure. This is an art statue. Piece. Yeah, this is a proper statue. This thing is big.
I'm thinking, I'm seeing this, and I'm thinking like $1,500 for the statue, but then how much do you need, like, as far as like fundage goes, to secure a place to display something like that? That is beautiful, but like, do you have like a statuette room that you like put these in? Like when you have the money and the desire to this, or is this also one of those things where you like you keep it in the box in the top of your closet or something? It must never be opened or sealed.
Well, no, you buy two. One is for display and one is for storage.
Right.
So $3,000 US dollars.
Okay. Yes. And then again, you like need to like rent a space or something to like display. No, yeah, you probably wouldn't if you
donate it to your local museum and then like let them display it for you.
Visit it on the weekends.
I mean, I said not a Joker, but they actually had a Joker. I didn't know that they had one.
Oh, well, what was the cost on that one?
Only $900.
What a bargain!
Yeah, but that's the deluxe version. The regular version is only $700. What a deal!
Oh my gosh! How could you can't afford to not buy it at that price?
You can't afford to not buy this. You're crazy. What a steal! Yeah, but boy, $1,500 is pretty hard to swallow. It's true.
I'm happy for people who can afford that. Good for them.
Good for them. Okay, so speaking of like who would buy these things, right? So, you know what? If I can find this, I have a personal story to tell. I'm gonna embarrass my friend for a second here.
Go on.
Okay, so speaking of expensive things, yeah. So this I actually I don't know if I talked about this on our on HitPoint at some time.
No.
But this is like not real chess. This is like some kind of make believe chess game.
Kingdom Hearts
see like
chess.
the board is like diagonal, right? It's not the standard like chessboard. So
it's got
it's
raised and
reminiscent
lowered
of chess,
sections.
but it's not chess. Yeah. So this pretty chess set, let's call it, is modeled after different characters and whatnot. It's Kingdom Hearts themed, and they do play this in the game, right?
Yep.
And this is one of those things where I saw it and I was like, who in the right mind would spend $700 to buy a fictional chess-like game? Like, if this was a real chessboard, even then I'm like, oh, this person must really love chess and Kingdom Hearts. Like, who in the right mind would buy this?
You know,
And I found out yesterday.
I was gonna say you should be able to flip it over and play like regular chess on it.
Oh, that would have been a smart thing to do. Except here's the problem: this part of this chessboard is raised, so you can't even like put it flat on the other side.
Yeah, you'd have to have some sort of stand special for it.
Anywho,
yeah.
Well, I found out yesterday. Friend of mine, I was at a friend's birthday yesterday, and her boyfriend actually bought this chess set for her because she's a super huge Kingdom Hearts fan. And so there you go. I found out who would buy these.
That's honestly, it's kind of cool. But I just wouldn't have.
It's cute. I respect
room for
it, but also like.
I just know better than to think I have room to display something like that.
Oh, and they're moving to a smaller place. Oh no, well, I don't think it's a very well thought out gift, but she loved it, and that's all that matters, truly.
Well, you know what? Whoa, whoops, wrong button. Whoa, hold on.
Derek's trying to end the show.
Almost. Oh, not quite. Let's see. I had another. This is the button I wanted to talk about, or press this one.
Yes. Go on.
That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do next time Baku and I go off on like a 30-minute tangent. I'll just play Baku off with like the outro music.
Go on.
No. All right, so let's go ahead and move along to the super chats and stuff that we've gotten throughout the day. And we've got one here from Still Alive who says, "My take is if Capcom can redeem themselves with the fans, so too can Square Enix. We'll see. If not, we can just go indie."
Oh yeah,
that's true. I feel like Konami has been working their way that way. Square Enix has been working their way that way. Capcom has been we're seeing, I think, sort of a return to senses slowly but surely. And it's a little bit early still to call it for either Konami or Square Enix, but they are working their way that way, and that's progress. You know, that makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, we've done whole segments dissecting their business plan and talking about how they replaced their boards and all that. So changes comes, bottom up, top down, like all sorts of ways. We're seeing the commitment. Now we just need to see results. Will they stick to it? Will they relapse? Like, it's like kind of like quitting the habit, right? Like, I've been there. I smoked years ago, right? And I tried to quit many times. And then one of those times I stuck, and I haven't smoked in almost 20 years.
Wow.
Which is, I'm really, I know.
That's,
congrats. Actually, no, not almost 20. No, that's crazy. No, almost 15 years. 15 years.
Still.
Almost 15 years. Yeah.
Still.
So, but before that, I tried quitting many times. But I guess it's kind of the same way. It's like habits. People have habits. Companies have habits. Culture, Can they truly change the culture and really turn things around? Only time will tell. So, but have they made some very promising moves? Absolutely. So I look forward to seeing what else they would do. Coming back to form, as Derek has said. Romance and Saga 2, I feel like it's probably one of the first games that they are displaying as coming back to form. And so far, I've seen people play the demo, and people are just loving it. So we'll see,
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that about does it for us today. But hey, if you enjoyed today's show, please be sure to give it a like on whatever platform you're watching or listening on. If you're on the Super Derek YouTube channel version, you might want to go check out the other HitPoint channel version isn't missing the first 30 minutes of the show.
We were going to talk about this. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. No, sorry. Yes. So when we started the show, we were talking about the other channel, which you can see that's pinned in the Derek chat. Here's the other thing that we may or may not have talked about in the past, and that is all the old VODs are turned off after a while in the Super Derek channel. So they are kept, unhidden in the new channel. So if you'd like to, send some comments, it's probably better to actually write it in the new channel. So we'll just have them forever, available to look at. And if you're looking for old episodes, they're actually all over at the new channel. Even though they're hidden in Derek's channel, they have not been deleted, they have not been forgotten. Derek spent an ungodly amount of time to move and migrated all the videos to the new channel. Like, was it like 90 something of those videos got moved over there?
Yeah,
It's a good amount, like 2 years plus of us doing like HitPoint. So if you want to look at like the archive, it's all the new channel, and all the new videos will just be archived like how we used to in the new channel too. We are coming close to 500 follows over there, or subscribe YouTube. Yes. So we're really trying to get us to be able to monetize over there. So it would really help us out if you haven't already, to follow us over in the new channel, and to really start using the new channel for like the default place to enjoy this podcast. Unless of course you're on like Apple Podcasts or whatever, then you know, stay where you are.
Long term,
but if you are on YouTube, head over to the new channel.
Long-term plan is, or even just like medium term to short term, is that we're probably going to stop streaming on Super Derek YouTube channel and just exclusively stream over on HitPoint. So if you enjoy the show, you should probably get subscribed over there to make sure you don't miss us. But with that said, I think that's about it for us today.
That is about it.
I hope you all I hope you all had a great night. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.